Hello and welcome to Allot on Air. During the next 10 minutes or so, we'll be meeting with industry experts to discuss the hottest trends in telecom, cybersecurity, and network intelligence.
Hello, I'm Nikki Ralston from Allot Secure. Today here with me is Ben Colman, CMO of Exetel, Australia's largest independent internet provider. Welcome, Ben.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Good, thank you. Ben, Exetel is Australia's cyber-safe internet provider, a clear differentiation from other players in the market. Why is cybersecurity so central to the company's strategy?
Well, it is a clear differentiation, and that's an important consideration in a market which is effectively a utility category, internet service provision. To be able to differentiate ourselves is something that we've been looking long and hard to do. And particularly in terms of not only differentiating, but actually adding value, driving value in terms of revenue per user, revenue per customer. So we've been looking for a strategy to fulfill that against. And we've just been monitoring kind of market conditions in Australia and emerging trends. And there's probably four main themes that kind of emerge that kind of point us towards a cybersecurity and content control kind of proposition. And the first of those is very much the actual arrival of smart homes. So something that's been talked about for a decade, but the actual arrival of the smart home concept and devices that are connected to the internet and platforms such as Google Home that connect all the different devices. So right now in Australia, the average home has 17 smart devices connected to their home internet connection on average.
And that's average. So you have some that are much higher, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. So that's an average. Now, importantly, that number is expected to double by 2022. So
next year.
I mean, and the consideration there around home security is that every white good security camera, air conditioning system, gaming console, light globe, baby monitor is now a digital doorway into your home. And that's very much the language that we use to our customer base, is that you understand physical security in terms of locks on doors and windows and alarms. This notion that there are now a significant number of digital doorways that cyber criminals can have access to is something that is little understood. But will become, I think, a lot more kind of there'll be a greater awareness of that issue, and it's also something we are on a bit of an education process with this product in terms of our customer base, but it's an emerging education process. So I think that's kind of the first kind of theme is the arrival of the smart home, and the thing that we like about the Home Secure solution is that it works, and particularly the NetSecure component of it is that it works at the level of the internet connection. So that kind of talks to that. Lots and lots of devices being connected to the internet. Don't worry, you don't have to worry. You don't have to deal with them all on an individual basis. There is a catch-all network level product in Home Secure, as we've branded it, that can keep you safe. I guess that's the first theme. I think the second significant theme is the increase in cybercrime, not only around the world and in Australia, but also importantly in Australia, more and more targeting ordinary Australians, particularly kind of ransomware and identity theft, phishing. It's just becoming rife. The Australian Government Cybersecurity Centre is now reporting cybersecurity incidents every 10 minutes in Australia. 1 in 3 Australian adults, I think the number is affected by cybercrime last year. And the annual economic impact of identity theft alone in Australia is about $2 billion. So that kind of, and just reading and kind of press review and media reviews, particularly kind of with the arrival of the pandemic, there's just been this kind of increasing awareness of cyber threat as an issue. The third kind of theme that we've kind of identified is that research that we've been following is that Australian parents are increasingly concerned about their safety of their kids online. I think that's probably again a global issue and a global phenomena. Absolutely. But the research that we've conducted is that over 60% of parents are are concerned about the risks of their children online and believe that they don't have an effective solution in place to do anything about it. And so that's a market that is there and available, and there isn't anything. Most of the solutions in this area are advice. Do this, don't do this. It's not a technology. It's not a technology solution. So again, a technology solution in the form of Home Secure fits into that opportunity. And finally, we've also, and this is kind of a bit of happenstance rather than bad luck with good luck, in that with the fundamental changing in work practices through the COVID pandemic, particularly in Australia. I mean, everyone is working from home and has done for almost a year now. And the opportunity there to both employees and employers is to highlight the increased kind of cybersecurity risk that having employees working at home on unprotected links, handling sensitive company data, the risk of breach or theft or data security issues of any type really happening is significant and real. So we see a real opportunity to work with both employers and employees to kind of provide a solution for both parties that says, okay, if you're working from home, here's a way of protecting that link so that both your employer feels safe that their data is being looked after, and as an employer, you feel like you're not at risk as well, as material brought in for work isn't infected and entering your own personal space. So that's a fairly lengthy answer, but they're the kind of four main kind of environmental themes that we've seen. But also commercially, as I said, the opportunity to really kind of differentiate us in the marketplace and drive value in terms of increasing revenue through ARPU.
Yeah, interesting. So you've talked about the growing risk and growing awareness with everyday end users that have in this past year become especially connecting to work and school from home. Adding more and more smart home and devices that also put them at added risk. So you've got wonderful solutions there. And now we're starting to kind of talk also about small businesses who are especially at risk, because on the one hand, they have more assets, they have more at stake, but they don't usually have the in-house expertise, to have a SOC or in-house cybersecurity experts, and that puts them highly at risk. So can you tell us a little bit more about the business secure solution that you've implemented and then you're offering to SMBs?
Yeah, so we have a fairly healthy market share against 0 to 250 seat businesses, and we have seen, and the research that we've done, we've seen increasing kind of concern around small business owners and operators around security issues, and that's primarily because they're being targeted. I think the increasing incidence of threats against business it's right now it's something that's very much being talked about in Australia. In fact, in the last 3 months, there's been more than 13,000 reports of cybercrime against businesses to the Australian Cybersecurity Centre in Australia. The government reckons that the cost to Australian businesses in terms of cybersecurity, and this is businesses of all size, is around about $29 billion a year. Now, if you're a small player without an IT department or a dedicated IT security department, the kind of device levels solutions that are available to you, they're generally expensive. You've got to keep track of them. You've got to have someone to manage them. It's kind of it's kind of a more complicated environment. Don't they work? And again, for a business, the notion of a network level internet security product and content control product, ensuring that people are not accessing inappropriate content during work hours. But the concept of the simplicity of that idea is something that we've found that resonates very powerfully with a small business customer. It's the product Business Secure is easy to implement. It's the click of a button. It's one monthly fee, and it's a simple management portal. We give you simple, easy to understand reports around what happens on a monthly basis or weekly basis, should you so desire. And we've got great notification systems that kind of let you know when a threat's occurred, what type of threat, and suggest remedies to counter it. So it's just that kind of the simplicity of the. I think that's what a lot have got in terms of NetSecure and the affiliated kind of products in terms of home secure and device secure on top of that. But particularly with NetSecure, it's a disruptive kind of concept in the marketplace, because historically up until now it has been about device by device kind of solutions. We've seen a lot of interest in business secure, and we think it's a bit of a game changer to our existing customer base.
Yeah, fantastic. So Exetel has clearly made a very strong commitment on all fronts to protect subscribers from online threats. As you were exploring technology options to deliver on this commitment, what made Allot Secure stand out?
Well, it's a combination of both the technology and the proposition and the company, I guess. So, I mean, first and foremost, there's a proven track record in Europe. And we have pretty much a greenfield opportunity here working with Allot in Australia. So it's the first concept of this notion to be launched in Australia. So we like the fact there's a proven track record in Europe, and over 20 million subscribers on a platform that had been tried and tested. The fact that NetSecure is a disruptive player, as I've mentioned, it is an internet level security connection security product, and that makes it ideal to be supplied by an ISP. Like right. The fact that it's delivered at the internet connection, hand in glove with us providing the internet service, seemed like as a technology solution, almost a no-brainer to put those two things together. We also like the intelligence of the platform itself, the fact that it is driven by machine learning, but it's also a product that's supplemented by human input, and just the overall product design, the layers of redundancy and the data feed that Allot draws from, the breadth of that data feed, the depth of the company's understanding around the subject matter of cybersecurity and content control. Just talking with the team and sort of researching into that, we felt more and more comfortable about the decision to partner with Allot on this journey. And it is a journey, and it is a partnership. We are putting a product into our network that sits between the delivery of the internet, the content of the internet, and the user itself, and that's a fairly significant relationship to enter into. So you want to make sure that relationship is built on strong foundations, and we've found that with both the product and the team with Allot. And I guess the speed to implement with the Allot team was another factor. We're very like-minded in terms of we are a challenger brand in Australia. We are nimble, fleet of foot. We work quickly. And we don't muck around, and we like to get things happening and make them happen. And we certainly found that the dynamic and the culture of the Allot team was very, very similar. So it was a great sort of cultural alignment as well. So very happy with that.
Great. So on that same thread, while you were preparing to launch the solutions to your customers, both the home secure and business secure solutions, you worked very closely with a special team here at Allot called the cyber marketing team of cyber marketing consultants that work together, hopefully, with you. How important was that in preparing to launch your security service, and what was that experience like?
That's a really good question. I mean, working with the Allot marketing consultants was super valuable for me personally. Whilst my title is Chief Marketing Officer, I'm also kind of Chief Customer Officer as well. So anything that's customer facing, the customer experience and the product experience I have a very a remit over, and that's there was a lot of time, effort, and energy spent from me and my team around the customer experience and the product design, and having that resource there in terms of insight marketing just kind of doubled our capacity to think around the marketing and positioning side of it. And also, it's just invaluable when you come to a new product to have someone who's thinking from a marketing perspective that's got a depth of understanding and information about the product. So you can draw very quickly on that well of experience and kind of come up to speed very quickly, and be guided when you think you know what you're doing, and in fact you might be not quite getting it. So really good experience. Great team. They know their stuff. They're full of insight. They also hold a really, and this was kind of a surprise, there's a bit of a rich library of resources and content to draw from. So, even just simple things like, thinking about, kind of creating a customer email and having a whole heap of messaging kind of approaches into the messaging content to go with it is absolutely fabulous. And importantly, they're a good bunch of people to work with. They're responsive, and they kind of like to be challenged. We're a very challenging kind of customer to deal with and partner to deal with. We're always looking for a better solution and how to push it forward. We want to be innovative, and I think we've both the Allot team and the Exetel team have very much pushed each other to kind of get to a better outcome. I think the Allot team have also learned and sort of found new territory in working with us in exactly the same way as we have with them. So it's been a really good mix. In fact, I had a meeting with the lead marketing consultant last week, and we acknowledged that whilst we've come a long way together in a very, very short space of time, we just started talking about the future and the next steps, and we realised together that we've only really just scratched the surface, even though we've come a lot further than the competition on this conversation. So there's an acknowledgement that there's a long road ahead, and that we can kind of see it together, and that we're in it together as a partnership, and we'll get there.
Wow, fantastic. Sounds good. One last bit of news, sort of as proof of how cybersafe Exetel is. You were recently awarded the highest level possible of the family-friendly filtering by the NX test. Can you tell me a little bit about what this certification means and the level that you received?
The certification is kind of the Australian Communication Authority. Its default kind of standard for validating whether anyone making claims around cybersecurity or content control can actually deliver what they're saying, because it is a category that you do hear, and we've heard. Does it work? Is what you're doing? Does it actually work? Because I think there's been a bit of historical kind of or history in the category where things potentially haven't worked or delivered to the claims that they've made as a product. And we've been very, very conscious of that as we've developed the way that the product sits within our network and the user experience that we give to our customers. And the certification is just demonstration that we have met the criteria of the product functionality, that it does block threat and manage content at the highest level of requirement, which is great. It kind of validated a lot of hard work that we've put into to ensuring that's the case. To be honest, because of the technology and the machine learning and the approach that the platform takes from Allot, we have there's a robustness around the product to begin with. But it's just great to have that kind of validation that the way that we've structured it within our network and the choices that we've given our customers around how they choose to manage content, deliver an experience that is, if you've got a 10-year-old in your home, they're not going to see the things that you don't want them, you don't want them to see. So yeah, it's kind of it's gratifying. It's shorthand. It comes with the seal of approval and a logo around family-friendly filter that is shorthand for customers from a marketing perspective to know that the product's been certified by an authority that's authorized to do so.
Yeah, definitely. As a parent, that's something that I would be looking out for. So it makes a lot of sense to me as a professional and also as a person, as a parent. Thank you, Ben.
I was just going to say I'm a parent of three teenage daughters, and I've got to say, ever since I've had the product on at home, it's just a level of kind of peace of mind that I can really understand how to market it to our customers and prospects. So
yeah, absolutely. You're your own customer. I think that's what's great about this particular market is, of course, we can all identify and we all understand the importance. And it is really satisfying with all the challenges and hard work to be able to offer a simple kind of effective solution that's really going to work for people and for families and for small businesses. That's really incredible. Thank you, Ben, and congratulations to you and Exetel for being the safest, most family-friendly internet provider in Australia.
And thank you to Allot. Thank you.
That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. You can get more information about network intelligence and security solutions for service providers and enterprises on our website at allot.com. Subscribe to this podcast to make sure you hear about new trends and technologies on the next episode of Allot On Air.